Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. So today's video is going to be a reading vlog, but just about one specific book. No spoilers or anything. So it's this book. It's The Awakening as Told by the Boys. So book 1 in Zodiac Academy, but from the boys' point of view. I did like weekly reading vlogs while reading the rest of the series, and I just ended my weekly reading vlog that I'm posting like before this one goes up, in which I started this and I got about 50 pages in, so I got like the first 2 chapters read of this. And then I was gonna take a little break in vlogging until the 72 hours in the Smut Den, which is this weekend. But I'm reading this and I kind of want to document it. Like, I've just been documenting reading the Zodiac Academy books since I started them, so this is going to be like a mini reading vlog. It might not even be that long because it's just going to be reading this book, and I'm not discussing spoilers or anything. So currently I am on page 145, so I'm a bit in, and I am liking this. I did want to see the boys' perspectives when I was reading the first book, because you just get Tori and Darcy's perspective in that first one. If you don't know, Zodiac Academy is this like fantasy romance new adult series set at this academy, Zodiac Academy. These 2 twins, Tori and Darcy, find out that they're like the long lost fae princesses, and their power is like awakening on their 18th birthday, and they get brought back to this fae world and they have to like learn about their magic. And at the same time, these 4 men at the school, these 4 guys, are the like heirs of the 4 ruling families that took over when the king and queen were murdered 20 years ago. And so they have like grown up knowing that they're going to take over ruling this fae world. And now that Tori and Darcy are back in the picture, that is threatened. Like, their territory is being stomped on, and so they're super mean to Tori and Darcy. And the first book is very, very heavy in the bullying aspect of it, less in the romance aspect of it. And in this book, we're getting the boys' perspective of all that and like seeing like their thought process of why they're doing this way and why they're behaving this way. So yeah, I just recently finished the series, if you haven't been like watching all of my vlogs. So if you want to see my thoughts on the series, you can go back. I'll leave like the links to the weekly reading vlogs that I did for them down below. I think it's like in 3 or 4 vlogs that I read all 7 books plus the 2 novellas. So yeah, I want to do a little vlog for this book just because like I did it for all the other books and I kind of want to vlog my experience reading this. Anyways, yeah, I'm 145 pages in. I am really liking it. I missed these characters after reading the 7th book and being absolutely demolished in my body, heart, and soul. I needed a little break. I read some other things and then I was ready to pick this up. And honestly, I would recommend picking this book up later in the series, because from what I've read so far, it's not like major spoilers for things that get revealed in the series, but it's like things would get revealed in this book before they were meant to in the series if you read it like right after the first book. So I would recommend holding off on this at least until after like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th book, honestly. Like, I think that after the 7th book is the good time to read it, because then you know that nothing that gets revealed in here is spoiling like the series. So yeah. I just wanted to pop on quick and do a little intro for this little mini reading vlog because I did want to document my reading of this book. So I'm gonna go read for a little bit. I don't know how far I'll get, but it's just as addicting as the other ones, honestly. I do miss being in like Tori and Darcy's points of view because like they're my favorites. Tori specifically, I just love her so much, but I still love the boys, and it's still really interesting to see like their take on what happened in the first book. All right, hello. It is, what day is it? Wednesday? It's Wednesday night. It's the next night from when I vlogged last. And I have made it a little bit farther into The Awakening as Told by the Boys. I am on page 235. So I think I made it to page 190 last night, like before I went to bed, and I just didn't update. But yeah, I'm a little ways in. I'm not quite halfway yet, but I'm hoping to get over halfway tonight. I would love to get to the 300 page mark tonight. I am really enjoying the perspectives of the boys because that was one of the things that I missed from the first book. Like once we got their perspectives in the second books and on, I was like, oh, some of those scenes, I really want to know what they were thinking. Like what was going on in their head. You kind of get a little taste of that in the later books, like, oh, we only did this because blah, blah, blah. But actually like seeing their thought process play out as they're being these like total colossal jerks is really interesting because I don't know, I understand where they're coming from. These two long lost princesses who have grown up in a completely different world from theirs now have more claim to rule this country, this world, than they do, even though they've been raised in this world and they know everything about this world and they've been raised to rule it. So like to have that, like somebody come in and have no idea about like the most basic things in your world come and have more claim to rule over that world than you do, like I get why that would be upsetting. And it's just interesting to see them like excuse their own behavior because they're like being these bullies, like they're being complete assholes, and they're kind of like, well, I'm only doing this because of, you know, XYZ, and it's just interesting to be in their heads. So I am really enjoying this one. I definitely think that it is worth the read if you enjoy the series. So far, it's not like anything important is like being added to the story other than their perspectives. So it's not a must read. Like you don't have to read this, but if you are enjoying this series, like I would say definitely definitely pick this one up in the end. I will also be curious to see if this, like the information in this one is going to play a role at all in book 8, because this was published after the 7th book and we haven't gotten the 8th book yet. That comes out in December. So I'm just going to be curious if anything from here like ties in to that last book or not. I don't know. Brandon and I are making a pizza right now and we're going to watch at least one episode of Psych, which if you haven't watched Psych before, it's such an underrated show in my opinion. I love it so much. It's one of my favorites. So we're gonna watch at least one episode. It might end up turning into 2, so that will affect how much I can read tonight. But I am hoping to get to the 300 page mark, which is about this much. So I think I can do this even if we do end up watching like 2 or 3 episodes. So we're gonna go do that and then I'll get to reading. Check-in. It is Thursday night. I made it to the 300 page mark last night before I went to bed, and I got a little bit further today. I'm on page 341, so I'm over halfway now. I'm gonna read some more tonight and hopefully get I don't know, 450? No, maybe not. I would like to read another 100 pages or so before I go to bed tonight, but I have 2 packages sort of relevant here. This one I already started to open. It's a Depop order. And it is Kings of Quarantine, book 1. So Brutal Boys of Everlake Prep, book 1. This is another Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti series. I believe that this one is not fantasy though, but it's obviously of quarantine. It talks about the fact that it centers around a pandemic similar but more extreme than the coronavirus. It's dedicated to everyone who is self-isolating on lockdown, in quarantine, and to all the key workers who are struggling through this impossibly hard time. So I think this was written right at like peak COVID times, but I'm still really curious to read this one because I'm just curious to read from these authors, and I found it on Depop for pretty cheap. And then the other package I have here, I ordered. That is annoying. I ripped it and it did nothing. It's Dark Fae, also by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is book 1 in the... What is this one called? This series. Set at Aurora Academy. Ooh, look at that. Let's see if the chapter headers are good. There's the map. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Does this one have that? This one might not. No, it doesn't look like it. No, it just has a little bit of art. The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac. So this is a reverse harem paranormal romance series set in the world of Solaria. So this is set in the same world as Zodiac Academy, but it's set 5 years before the events of Zodiac Academy take place, and it follows some of the characters that we meet in that series. So I'm very curious to read this one. I have never read a reverse harem before. Hopefully it's not too shiny from the window and you can see it, but I've never read a reverse harem before, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited to get to this one. I think it's gonna be fun. So yes, that is my update for now. I have to do a couple chores around the house, and since I don't have the audiobook for this, I can't listen to the audiobook while I do those things. So that cuts into my reading time, but I'm hoping that I can get to like 100 more pages read in this tonight. The 72 Hours in the Smut Den readathon starts tonight at 9 p.m. I believe, and I don't think I'm gonna finish this. So now I'm like, do I even participate in that? Because I can't really read tomorrow. It's my friend Maggie's birthday tomorrow, and we're gonna be celebrating at night, so like after school and stuff. So I won't get any reading done tomorrow night, and then it's like just two days. I mean, it's only a 72-hour readathon, so I could just like extend it, but then it's Monday. I don't know. I'm still going to decide if I want to participate in that, but hopefully I can finish this before the weekend. But I don't really want to switch out of this yet. Like, I want to be able to finish this before I read another book, so I don't know. There's no smut in this, so I don't think it counts. Anyways, yeah, those are my updates for now. I'm going to go take a shower, get my chores done, and then I can read for the night. gonna stop crying so I can talk about this book. I just finished As Told by the Boys. Ending got me way more than I thought it would. I don't even know what to rate this book now because it was originally going to be like a 4-star for me, but that ending really got me. So maybe like a 4.5. I don't know. I'm not going to rate it right away. I'm going to sit with it for a bit and see how I feel. I'll probably end up giving it like a 4 stars on Goodreads. But that ending, like the last 100 pages, oh my god. That was way harder to read than the first time reading it. I don't know if that's because I'm like more attached to these characters now and like I see what happens later in the story, or if it's just like way more intense because it's from the boys' points of view. Those ending scenes, if you've read The Awakening, like you know what I'm talking about, that like ending intense scene. Watching that play out from the boys' perspectives was really hard to read from. Like when we were in Tori and Darcy's point of view, they were like in it in the intensity and the boys were kind of off to the side, but like watching them watch everything play out and like being the ones responsible for it and like their whole thought process and the things that they're going through, I don't know, it was just really hard to read that. I probably should have waited to film this update until I'm like calmed down. But here we are. Here's my fresh like emotions right after finishing it. All right, well, I mean, this is the end of the vlog. I'm sorry that it's ending on me like in actual tears, but you know, that's how this book ended. So I definitely don't think that this is like necessary to read. It doesn't add like a lot of extra information. Like it's nothing that's gonna like make or break the plot in any of the books, but it definitely gives some insight and some like gives you their perspectives, so you see what their thoughts are during all of this, which we didn't get in the first book. So I do think that that is like really valuable. So I'm really glad that I read this. I would recommend reading it, but you don't have to. But I'm not sure if I said it at the beginning of this video or what, but I would definitely recommend reading this later in the series. It was written, I think, right after the 6th book came out, maybe? Because I know the author's note says, like, don't worry, the 7th book is coming. But yeah, I know that this was written, like, later in the series, so I would still recommend like waiting to read it. Definitely if you have time to read the whole series now, then you can read this last before the 8th book comes out. But yeah, I would still say like read this after maybe the 6th book or the 7th book. So that is it. I have read all of the Zodiac Academy books. That was the final one until the last book is released in December, which I will be doing a whole reading vlog for. Again, it'll still be spoiler free because I've enjoyed doing that. I wish I could go into spoilers though. So I am going to be making a video where I just talk about spoilers of the whole series. I've been working at like making all of my notes for all of the books because it's hard for me to remember what events happen in which books. Like I know the main ones, but it all like kind of runs together for me into one giant story because I read them like back to back so quickly. So yeah, I will be doing a spoilery like just discussion like book talk video, and that will be coming very soon. I just need to finish getting my notes on books 6 and 7, and now that I have finished As Told by the Boys, I am ready to talk spoilers. So if you've read all of the books, you've read the whole series, and you want to hear my like spoilery thoughts on it, I'll be doing a whole separate video for that. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, leave the crying emoji because that's what this was. That's how we ended it. So yeah, leave the crying emoji if you made it to the end. Don't forget to click like and subscribe down below to help support me and get more bookish content from me. I have my Goodreads and my Instagram linked below if you want to follow me on there. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.